Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jonny Bowden. Today I want to talk about one of the foods that I am personally stocking up on. I don't want to say hoarding, but we'll say stocking up on. And that is bacon. Now I consider bacon to be a kind of honorary superfood. And it's the perfect food for these times. Number one, it's not sold out in the stores. You're able to get it. It's very easy to get. And number two, it's really the perfect keto food. I mean, it's mostly fat with a little bit of protein. It's kind of a mix of those two. It has zero carbs, low calorie, and it's very filling. And I have made many a meal out of bacon. Sometimes it's my only meal in the morning, and it keeps you full for a long time. Sometimes it will stave off carb cravings, like sometimes at night when you just want to eat cookies or cake or popcorn. If you have a couple of slices of bacon, try that. It is a carb craving crusher, I can promise you that. So there's a lot of good things about bacon. Now, you may be thinking, if you're not familiar with my work or the work of my colleagues, you may be thinking, what is he talking about? How can bacon be a health food? It's got all that fat and all that saturated fat. It's going to give me heart disease. And actually, none of that is true. Those of you who are familiar with my work and the work of my colleagues know very well that saturated fat has been vindicated of any causal role in heart disease. We know that. It's been documented. And the irony is that if I asked most of you in a general audience, what kind of fat's in bacon, you'd all say saturated fat. But in fact, less than 50% of the fat in bacon is saturated fat. The rest of it is monounsaturated fat. It's always less than 50%. And you can do that, those percentages, by just looking at the label and figuring it out. If a given slice of bacon has 4.5 grams of fat, 2 or less are going to be saturated. And the irony is, it doesn't even matter because, as I just said, saturated fat doesn't cause heart disease. So those are the objections to bacon. All this fat and saturated fat, and it's going to give me a heart attack. That stuff just isn't true. There is one major concern that I personally have about bacon, and it's why I don't eat it more often, and it's why I don't recommend it more often. And it doesn't have anything to do with health. It has to do with animal welfare. Because unfortunately, pigs are raised, for commercial pig farms are some of the most gross and cruel and horrendous operations you can imagine. And the level of cruelty and just awful stuff that happens to pigs in confinement like that is just something I can't recommend. However, there is a solution. You have to look for it, you have to make the effort, but if you care about animal welfare, there's a way to eat bacon that's sustainable and humane, and that is to get what's called pastured pork. That's the equivalent of grass-fed beef, except that pigs don't eat grass. But it's the equivalent of free range. These are pigs that are raised very humanely in farm-like conditions. Their tails aren't docked, and I feel that that's my bar, and I will eat pastured pork till the cows come home. Some of you may not be as concerned about animal welfare. That's a complete personal decision. The point is that bacon can be a very, very healthy food, and it can be a lifesaver in these times when we're stocking up for, a week at a time. That's your go-to food, and I recommend getting it from pastured pork. This is Dr. Jonny. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like button if you do. It makes me feel so good. And subscribe to the channel. And most of all, keep your questions coming, because that's how I engage with you. I love answering them, and I look forward to getting the next.